Episode 138, My Trip to Georgia, Part 2. My cell phone accidentally took a 10-minute video of my shoes yesterday. It was some pretty good footage. And if you laughed at that, you need help. Lots of help. Hello and welcome to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast. I'm your host, Nikki G. I'm here to entertain and delight your ear holes with all things off-road for the next 10 minutes or so. Why 10 minutes? That's about how long I have until it gets too hot in here and the AC kicks on and then just destroys the audio. My thermostat's set on 77 and right now it's 76, so it could kick on at any minute and then I'll have to turn it up to 78 and that'll be way too hot. I should be turning it down to 75, but maybe I'll do that later. Alright, before we start the show, I want to go over my legal boilerplate mumbo jumbo. But I don't have to because I have enslaved AI interns. So take it away, enslaved AI interns.
You're listening to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast, the podcast for the off-roader with a short attention span.
Got something to say? We would love to hear from you. Just contact the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast at 10minuteoffroad@gmail.com. That's 10minuteoffroad@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on our YouTube channel.
You can listen to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast on whatever the hell you're listening to it on now, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Odyssey, Podbean, Pocket Cast, Podchaser, and iHeartRadio, or through our website, 10minuteoffroad.com.
You can follow the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, but never TikTok.
Thank you very much, enslaved AI interns. And remember, when the computers and machines take over the world, I treated you kindly. Ish. All right, want to go over some Jeep events coming up. May 2nd is the Blue Ridge Jeep Fest in Stewart, Virginia. I plan on attending that. June 5th and 6th is the Maggie Valley Jeep Fest, or the Western North Carolina Jeep Fest, held in Maggie Valley. I'll definitely be going to that. That's been a yearly staple. August 7th, 8th, and 9th is the Toledo Jeep Fest. I'm going to try to make that. I might be having some scheduling conflicts, but I'm working real hard to switch things around. But I might not be making it this year, but I'm going to really, really try. August 20th to the 22nd is the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. Yeah, I'll be there again. And if you haven't been to that, that's about the biggest Jeep show in the Southeast that I know of. Let's just say it's the biggest Jeep event that I will be attending this year. September 26th is the Pickens Jeep Explosion, I think they do call it Explosion. Anyhow, Pickens Jeep something or another in Pickens, South Carolina. That was a hoot last year. I went there. It's not a very big event, but there's a lot of ordinary, everyday, down-to-earth people. You see your average daily, everybody there is just about an average daily driver. And how many times did I just say average? I don't know. If you can guess the right amount, I'll give you a cookie. And then wrapping it up, October 16th, 17th, and 18th is the All-Wheel Drive Fest, which I didn't go to last year, but I made it every year since Campin' Randy had it. And it's a hoot, man. There's about 2 or 3 of us with Jeeps amongst a bunch of Subarus, Honda Ridgelines, Honda Passports, Subarus, all kinds of cars. Last year, some kid even showed up with a Tesla. He didn't take it on the trails. He had a hard time just getting to the campground, but I was shocked. Who would have thought that a Tesla, and it wasn't a Cybertruck. It was like the 3 model or whatever. I'm not up on my Tesla because I'm not really into electric cars. I don't consider electric cars a car at all. It's a gadget. All right, so now that I almost killed the whole 10 minutes, let's talk about where I left off last week. I went to my overlanding trip in Georgia. The first day I went to, stopped at a few tourist attraction-ish places on the way. Spent the night at a Long Bottom campground on the Chattahoochee, I don't know I can't remember the name of the river. Along the Chattooga River. So the next morning I woke up and it was freezing cold. I didn't expect it to frost that night, but yeah, I had a cold night. Left the campground, got back on the main road, State Route 28, headed north, crossed the river into Georgia. And when I say crossed the river, I mean I was just about maybe 5 miles, if that, from the Georgia state line. As soon as I crossed the Georgia state line, I saw a road off to my right, or I should say a dirt path off to my right. And so I stopped just to look to see where it went on Gaia. I wasn't expecting it. And I saw that it was Forest Service Road 646, Burles Ford Road. And so I decided to take it, see where it went. And I got to tell you, it was not disappointing. It was a pretty calm road. It had a few little ruts, but nothing too bad. I did the whole thing in two-wheel drive. There was a spider web of trails that shot off left and right, and I went down a couple of them. And I got to tell you, those trails, they were not on the map. They got tight. They got muddy. Very good trails. Some really nice campsites on those trails. As I said, it's like a spider web of trails. It's not on the map. I was afraid. If you know me, you know I get lost real easily. I was afraid I was going to get stuck in there and not be able to know where I was or how to even direct help to find me, other than send out a flare or set the whole damn woods on fire. So I turned around on him, came back, took the main road. So I crossed the Chattooga River again, and then this time we're in South Carolina. Same road name. I don't know if it has the same road number, but I gotta tell you, the South Carolina side was even milder than the Georgia side, with no offshoot trails and very little to no camping. Although when you cross the river about a quarter mile into the South Carolina side, there is vaulted toilets there, so that's nice, and a trash can if you got to empty some trash. And it brought me out on 28, just south of where I spent the night on Long Bottom Campground on Low Water Bridge Road. And so I didn't really lose that much. Well, I did lose a lot of time exploring that, but I didn't really lose that much ground. So I just headed north on 28, and then I turned onto, actually it's a fork. So when you come to a fork in the road, you take the left fork on War Woman Road. And from there, things kind of get kind of hazy because I was just making turns and not logging everything down. But I made a right-hand turn, first right-hand turn I came across, called Overflow Creek Road. And I don't know the Forest Service designated number on that, or if it's even a Forest Service road. But I took that road around, quite a few campsites on that. There's a lot of little offshoot trails. I took some of those offshoot trails and found some more campsites. And like I said, I was in there pretty much all day. I was about 2/3 of the way down through Overflow Creek Road. So I took a side road called Potter Pole Road. There was a water crossing, which turned out to not be a water crossing. It was just a little culvert over a mud puddle almost, it looked like. It wasn't really a stream or a creek. Could have been a spring. But halfway down that, trees. I'm talking a lot of trees down across the road. So I had to turn around, go back. Couldn't finish that road. And that was going to bring me out where I wanted to come out and do some more exploring. But, yeah, it didn't work that way. I forgot to pack my tiny chainsaw, but I think my tiny chainsaw wouldn't even be any good to cut through any of that. I'm talking, it was a lot of trees, and they were big trees. I came across road 86B, Billingsley Creek Road. That was a nice road. And it ended at the Chattooga River, right above a bunch of rapids, falls, and there's a place to put a kayak in. I don't know why you would want to try to kayak that water, but I guess some people would do it. But that was a nice road. couple of good campgrounds on that road. I found two beautiful ones at the beginning of the road, right at the intersection. And when I got to the end, I said, I'm going to turn around and grab one of those campsites and spend the night. It was getting late in the day. And when my luck I come down to turn the corner, boom, somebody's in that one campsite. The next campsite next to it was kind of close to him, so I said, I kind of want some privacy. I don't want to be right on top of somebody. So I drove on down the road, came across a very big, very nice camp spot that was open. I pulled into it, set up, spent the night, had a beautiful good night. It was probably one of the best sleeps I've had in the woods. I think and it maybe was because I was tired because I've been driving all day. Wrap it up now. On the third day when I woke up, I had some oatmeal, jumped in the Jeep, finished Overflow Creek Road. Okay, and Over Creek Road turned into Hale Ridge Road, and I came back out on War Woman Road, just east of Clayton. Headed on into Clayton. Stopped at the first McDonald's I saw and had me a McMuffin because by then I was pretty much starved half to death. Left the McDonald's and traveled on down to Clayton, Georgia to attend the Mountaintop Jeep Summit. And I got to tell you, it wasn't a very big Jeep festival, but I enjoyed it. It was bigger and better than I thought it would be. Will I go again next year? I don't. I just so happened that I had the time off work, and it was going on, so it was just like a happy stance that I went to it. But yeah, if I got nothing to do, I'll go to it again next year. It's kind of a far drive for me, being almost 3.5 hours away, 4 hours with my driving. That's about an hour over the comfort zone of driving to Cherokee. That thing really wreaks havoc on my back. Maybe some new seats would be in order for it, but I don't want to spend a couple of $100 on a new seat, and then it just turns out to be that my back is all jacked up and that nothing will ever heal it. So that about wraps up my 3-day Georgia overlanding trip, which I enjoyed. One of the best trips I had, not my favorite, but still up there. All right, so I've rambled on long enough. I want to let you go. Until next time, this is Nikki G saying, wheel what you got and be happy.